Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte, standing by our broadcast team.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Benson Mayowa in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Back to throw. Knight. Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Here's Newton. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And give him a full 10 yards there. 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Newton. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screen.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Looking to throw. Knight. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll look to run with Ingram, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, and the Saints have taken the early lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, look at 56. Look it!
Off the play fake. Knight on the move to his left. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no one to put him on the ground.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Detroit!
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other bats in the league.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. Give him 30 yards there.
If post pattern is often equated as a changeup route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field, covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
Down to about the 22 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Gone!
Off-play action. Knight. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Play fake. Hill steps away. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Back to throw. Knight rolling to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
That one good for 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup. With ball, they've got a chance at a 1st down.
Here's Chris Ivory with his first carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, Ivory. And a short gain down to about the 33. A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Newton on 3rd down. And he finds him there. It's McCaffrey. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
It's the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
And they're on the move as they face a 2nd down here. From the gun, here's Newton. Can fight it. He lost the football. It's out. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Detroit! All right, now, look at 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Off the play fake. Knight. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Jackson. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Back there, Philly, here we go.
Off play action. Knight. And incomplete on the deep ball. Thomas the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw on third down. Knight. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great. That's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the fullback, Zach Line. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Off the play fake. Knight is going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That's complete to Meredith. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Looking to throw. Knight. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Noah Spence able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Knight. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're flagged down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. Danny Amendola on the return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a
ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
I get it.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And the tight end Olsen right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A.J. Klein on the tackle there.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball.
And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. These two teams in the
game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. On first down, Knight. Right side caught by Jackson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Knight. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Got a man, it's Amendola. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Another carry for the fullback, Zach Line. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
To throw on 2nd down. Knight, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Benson Mayowa in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On 1st and 10, Newton toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Second and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught by Jackson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Flushed out right. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Newton on 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Newton now to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Leopard! No, check! Patriot!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, Knight. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And Lutz's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And good start in field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead. Now
he's just hoping for number 4. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton Funches with a catch over the middle. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun. Ready? Look at it.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 1st down, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath, as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. The Bucs trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head up to the Motor City, check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. The Lions locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a touchdown pass. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Cam's going to run the option right. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. The shotgun snap for Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And Cam is still down here. Appears to be shaken up and in some pain after the last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. And Olsen over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me. And got his man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cordero Patterson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Knight, buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel that.
Oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Set. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Over.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
He sets to fire deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
All right, here we go.
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
No.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Another run. This time it's Ivory, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll bring him back within 4. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Noah Spence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Knight. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Benson Mayowa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They're going to try and throw. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. McCaffrey following the penalty. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll give it up to Ivory. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 30.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This from 42 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead. So that's a good thing, and they've needed every one of these to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, he'll give us 3 points.
Now it's Patterson. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Throwing on first down. Knight looking long for Thomas. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball, but the clock running down. And we're back now in Charlotte. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter play. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
From the gun on third down. Knight. Thomas has got it. Complete. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Let's see who this is on.
Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Off play action. Knight. Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time there was a turnover.
And caught up to him.
Green, 39. Green.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
They go with a fullback line. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And that is incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Lutz puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. But no matter what the defense throws at them, they feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. On 1st and 10, Knight forced out to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Knight escaping the pressure right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, it's Ivory. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They give it to Ivory. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic, but downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Following the fumble recovery, Knight. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Saints. And even 40 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Looking to throw. Knight. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be taken down at at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Knight. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Knight. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
This will be taken short. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Right side caught by Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up first and 10.
Detroit!
On first down, Knight. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Leopard! Detroit!
Off the play fake. Knight. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Gone!
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it second and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. K'Wan Short in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we...
Last tackle, you mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
Lucky 56.
From the gun, Knight. Escaping, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Back to throw here. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this score will stay right where it is. I got nothing after that try.
Yeah, don't even try.
I mean, he tried it from the parking lot.
Here we go.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. And they will take a knee here. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. Thanks.
introduction really necessary. Get the message like a second.